6 months from the time you stop going to school. Unsubsidized loans, interest begins accruing as soon as you take that loan out. And you can get up to $5,500 total. Work study programs, federal work study, depends on the funds available at each school. They allocate money to certain schools. Work study program is where you work up to 20 hours a week, typically for minimum wage. However, the school is required to work around your school schedule. It's not mandatory to do work study. It can be a benefit depending on the work study position you choose. So at Northwest College, for example, they have applications and you apply for certain work study positions. So you can apply to work at the bagel shop, or you can apply to work at the library, or you can apply to, I wrote press releases for the college. So, you know, sometimes they can be based on the major that you're looking at. Northwest College does not participate in the federal work study program, but they do have an institutional work study program, so they hire students, but it's just based at the school level, so it's not based on the FAFSA. Because when you have the federal work study program, it's based on income, so if you make high income, you probably won't qualify for a work study position. But at some schools, that doesn't apply. And then the Direct Plus loan for parents, that is the Parent Plus loan. Basically, that is a loan that only parents or adoptive parents can take out to help supplement that financial need that the college, the amount the college thinks you need to pay for college. So, you can go into the FAFSA right now, but if you don't have your taxes done, you can go to the FAFSAforecaster.ed.gov. They ask you for some financial information. You put in your numbers or your estimates of numbers, and they'll give you an estimate of how much money you can potentially expect to get from the FAFSA. So, state, school, and private scholarships. How much money can you get? Well, it depends on the program of study, and it depends on how much time you're willing to put in, or your student's willing to put in. The state aid is the Hathaway program, and there is also the WIN program, which is Wyoming Invests in Nursing. If you're a nursing major, once you get accepted into nursing school, they will offer you the WIN loan. Take it. I highly recommend if you're going into that field, because that loan allows you to take out money for school, but once you are successfully employed as a nurse for, there's a set amount of years you need to work in the state, they will get rid of those loans for you. So if you're looking at that field, it's really good scholarships or / loan program. So you also should ask the College Financial Aid Office about information for their scholarships. There are scholarships that are based on specific majors. So if you're a graphic design major, they want to see your work and they might give you money for it. Northwest College's Scholarship Day is coming up in February. And that is an opportunity where you can go on campus and they will interview you, and you can get scholarships based on your major or your interests, if you're interested in rodeo or some of the clubs they have. They also have scholarships to be like the person that gives you the little guided tour of the campus, and they've got their own government. You can get scholarships for being part of that government program, the student government at the school. That said, the scholarships, the institutional scholarships have been open for quite some time at the colleges. Some of the colleges have first come, first served scholarships, which means that just for applying for their scholarship, you can get money. At Northwest, it's based on your ACT and your grade point average, but you can get between $800 and $1,500 just for putting your name in the hat. one really easy scholarship. So make sure you're looking at those, make sure you're applying for those. I know seniors in some of the other towns that I'm, go visit, they say, oh, well, I'll get to it. It's not a big deal. I've still got 5 months till graduation, but the colleges aren't on the same calendar year as you guys are. Their deadlines are approaching for some of their scholarship deadlines, and so you want to make sure you are on top of that. Some free scholarship searches, studentaid.gov/scholarships, unigo.com, gocollegenow.com, scholarships.com. That said, these are national scholarship sites, so you have a lot of competition. You also have the chance for a lot of spam in your email, because everyone will send you information saying, hey, apply for my scholarship. And so it might be a good idea to just do like jen.scholarships@gmail.com, whatever it takes, have a separate scholarship site if you don't want to get spammed, or take the time to go through and unsubscribe the emails they send you. So, have you applied for federal student aid? You're going to fill out the FAFSA, the free application for federal student aid at fafsa.gov. I don't believe it's an issue now, but there are some sites that assist you with the FAFSA for a cool $70. So, make sure you're going to fafsa.gov and you're not paying for the free application. So, state aid, each Wyoming college has their own Hathaway application. One little note regarding the Hathaway program, some kids are disappointed to know that it only covers Wyoming schools, Wyoming colleges. That said, University of Wyoming does have the National Student Exchange Program. So you can go to college for up to 1 year at certain partner schools and use your Hathaway funds to help pay for that education. You pay in-state tuition and the Hathaway funds go to that. So the schools are in-state and out-of-state, or no, the schools are out-of-state and out-of-country. So, you could study in Scotland for the same price it costs to study at University of Wyoming. So, if that is something you're looking at, you can look at a year of that and then go elsewhere, why not get at least 1 year paid for it. So, school aid, like I said, contact the financial aid office, and then scholarships, scholarship websites. For the federal student aid, you need to get an FSA ID. Inside of your packets, there is a orange worksheet, and that worksheet, on the one side, it walks you through how to get an FSA ID. On the other side, it gives you can use that to mark your passwords. It used to be a 4-digit PIN. If any of you have students that have already gone to college, that changed last May. Now it is a username and a password. They also want you to have 4 security questions, a significant date, and the username or password has to have an uppercase, lowercase, special symbol, and a number. So sometimes they're hard to remember. So don't hesitate to use that sheet to help you, because that process can be kind of hard to, if you forget that stuff, or if you spell it wrong. I had a lady who had a Toyota Corolla as her first car, but she didn't remember how she spelled it. So she could not unlock her account, so we had to call, and it was a big mess. So it also helps to use that if you spell something different than the traditional spelling. The FSA ID, you can do that as you were doing the FAFSA. It adds an extra 10 minutes per person. So if the parent and the student have to have one, that's 20 extra minutes to that process. You can go ahead and do it right now and get that started before you do your FAFSA. The only thing you cannot do is don't go in and say you're gonna come to the February 4th FAFSA event here, and you on February 3rd set up your FSA ID. You will not be able to do the FAFSA on February 4th. It takes up to 3 days for it to process through the Social Security Administration, and so it will not let you access your account. So keep that in mind. You will need to gather the documents you need. So on this little postcard that I created, it tells both of the dates that I will be here. I will be here on the 4th and the 24th. I may also go with a March date at the community center, depending on interest. You will need to have your 2015 tax information, including your W-2s, your FSA ID and password for both the student and the parent. One little side note I forgot to mention is you cannot share an email address. So if you have a home email address and everyone shares that, you'll need to set up a separate email address for one of the parent or the student. You need the mother's social security number and date of birth, the father's social security number and date of birth, the student's social security number and date of birth, the parent's marriage date or the date of divorce/separation, the current balance of the parent's checking, cash and savings, and information regarding IRA, mutual fund, stocks, bonds, that kind of stuff. It seems like a lot of information, and it really is. You do not have to fill out the FAFSA. A lot of people ask about that. You don't have to fill that out. However, over 1 million people every year don't fill out the FAFSA and don't get almost $6,000 for college that would qualify for it. So it can be worth it. The government already has all that information on you, so you're not telling them anything new. And you know, it can be a long process, but it's definitely worth the time and money to try to get that. Also, some schools, not necessarily the Wyoming community colleges, but some colleges will require that FAFSA to be filled out before they will consider giving you any school aid, because they want to make sure that you have tried to get money from all the resources available. So to fill out your FAFSA, you're going to go to FAFSA.gov, apply on or after January 1st, but as soon as possible, meet the deadlines. Like you said, that most colleges have a March 1st deadline. In Wyoming, there is also another program that was a grant-based program, and it was called the YCAC program, the Wyoming College Advisors Group, and every year they offered $1,000 scholarships. That grant went away, but because that grant went away and there were people, it was funded through the end of this year. So all of the staff has left their positions for the most part to find other jobs, but that left grant money in the pool. So they will be offering $1,000 scholarships just for filling out your FAFSA. And it's one of those first come, first served things, and then kind of a random drawing. But the sooner you get it done, the better. So I'd like to see all your students in the running for that those $1,000 scholarships. I think it way over 10 last year, so it's not a small amount. If you need help, you can use the functions within FAFSA, including the live chat, or call 1-800-4-FED-AID. Also, I would really like it if you would come to my FAFSA event, so I don't drive all the way over here to sit in your computer lab by myself. And then you're going to look for the confirmation page that says your FAFSA has been submitted. It will also tell you how much money you potentially qualify for as far as student loans and that Pell Grant money, and then you're going to log out of the FAFSA. You're going to watch for a response by email or by mail. Inside of the FAFSA, it will ask if you want to put your email address in. If you leave that blank and click go to the next page, it'll say, hey, wait, you forgot to put your email in. You can click go to the next page and it will let you not put that email in. Some people don't check their email, so you don't want to put an email address down if you're not checking that email address for information. Students also consider, I don't know how your school does it, some of the schools delete student accounts after students graduate, which would then make it so you're not getting vital information from colleges or your federal student aid because it's going to a deleted account. So keep that in mind when you put the email address in. You're going to get a student aid report either by email or by mail. You're going to review that and make sure all the information, including the social security number, is correct so they don't award some random person your scholarship money. If it's incorrect, you can log on to the website or you can cross out and correct that information on that form and mail it back. The school is the one that actually makes the final determination as far as how much money you qualify for. They will be sending you a letter saying how much you get. So whatever you get from the FAFSA people, you can't say to the school, well, the FAFSA said I get that $5,910. And they will say, well, I'm sorry, there's other information, or, you know, we need you to provide this information before we'll give you that money. So make sure you're paying attention to anything the school sends and requests from you. If they need more information, give it to them because they're the one giving you the money. Meet all the deadlines that they ask you to meet or you'll miss out as well. Like I said, the school will tell you how much aid you can get. You can use this award package to help you with your final decision about which college to attend. Inside of your packet, again, there is a form that has, I believe it's a yellow form. And in the very back, on the back side here, you can write down the tuition and fees for the school, your room and board for the school, the books and supplies, transportation costs, personal expenses for each school. Keep in mind if you're going to Sheridan, your cost for transportation is going to be significantly less than if you're going to the University of Wyoming or somewhere on the East Coast. Then you're going to take, this is going to give you your cost of attendance. You're going to put that cost of attendance here. Then you're going to subtract the Pell Grant, the scholarships, the work study, any loans or parent loans, and you will see how much you will end up having to pay for each school. It can be a little deceptive. Some schools, beware, will send you an award letter saying that you got $20,000. But $5,000 of that is the parent loan and $5,000 of that is the student loan. So really you only got $10,000. So beware of that. You can say, no thank you, I don't want that. Also, be aware of the fact that your Hathaway money, if you get a full ride scholarship to a school, your Hathaway money will be decreased because of that. So no one will let you make money going to college. Also, the Hathaway though can be used, so if you get, your first year of college is going to be your golden year. That's going to be the best year to have the most amount of scholarships. So your sophomore year you might not have as much. So you can defer the Hathaway your freshman year and use that towards 1 year of graduate school if you plan on getting a master's degree. You can go up to 2 years of your master's program by deferring the Hathaway for 2 years. So that is also an option for you. So you can use the award package to help you make your final decision. The other thing that can be deceptive about that is if they, you think, hey, I got $20,000 from this school. It's awesome, but school costs $40,000. So that is significantly different than if you get $5,000 from a school that costs $10,000. So that is an important thing to consider as well. Also, when you look at a school's website and it says the cost of attendance, that is like the Cadillac package, the best of the best. That means that you're eating food every single meal on campus, and you have a single sleeper dorm room, and so keep that in mind too. You can, it's like an a la carte menu. You can pick and choose what you want and what's going to work best for you. I don't recommend that you get that master food package. Like, I'm a mom, my son's a sophomore. At first, before I got this job, I'm like, I'm gonna get him the best package, most food, best dorm. Oh my gosh, he's a boy. He does not care if he shares a room with 4 boys. So he doesn't need that. He can sleep in the standard dorm room. And he's gonna order pizza, and he's gonna go to McDonald's, and he's gonna skip breakfast because he wants to sleep in till midnight or till noon. So keep those things in mind when you think about how many meals your kids are gonna be eating on campus. So once you decide which school you're attending, keep in touch with the financial aid office and find out anything extra you need to give them, and when they're going to be dispersing the money and how they will be dispersing money to you. To get more information about federal student loans, go to studentaid.gov. There's information about the aid programs. There's links to free scholarships and college searches. You can also call 1-800-4FED-AID. And then you can call me. So, does anyone have any questions? All right, well, I am glad you guys came tonight. If you do think of any questions before you go, don't hesitate to ask, or you can email me or call me.